Hello, we're friendly. This is Jade from Jade's Videos. This Nightmare House 2016 Haunt Build Day 14. More stuff has been done today than any other day so far, so I'm going to show you. Yeah, I think this wall was here yesterday. Hold on. I put the hay bales here, corn stalk. I know my mom put that there, the Field of Screams. Dark Harvest Field of Screams scene setter. This Dark Harvest Field of Screams. That wall wasn't there yesterday, so that's there. The corn stalks fell, but I did put the corn stalks up, but they're falling right now. Gotta secure those. So there's hay bale. There's another hay bale. Dark Harvest Field of Screams is kind of cut shorter than last year. Hopefully you'll still have room for everything, but it's kind of cut shorter. Last year it ended all the way up here, but the tree, like I already said, fell down, so it's got to be a little shorter because it's kind of, that pole has nothing to attach to for a doorway, so it's going to end right here, but it's still really big. Now down here is Island of the Headhunters. I want to show you the lighting that I did last night, so I'm actually going to turn off this flash. Oh shoot. Oh, you can't really see it. But it looks so cool. It's that purple time tunnel light, and hopefully you'll be able to see it better on the night of the haunt. But it's everything that's in the neon paint. It's kind of works as a black. Well, it pretty much does work as a black light. They glow just like they would under the black light. You can kind of see, as example with those. Can't really see that well though. But I painted more things. I painted more of these fake plants. Did the pot of the real palm tree, but not really. These things were secured. So was the palm tree. This wall, like I said, was already put up. There's a tiki torch thing. All the fake plants were painted, different colors, and they glow really cool under the light. It looks awesome. Right here, like I said, I painted this post and I put heads on it. There's this one. There's this trio of skulls, and then there's this one, and then my grandma brought this new plant over and I spray painted that. But that's really cool looking, that post. Of course there's the throne, not really much change to the throne. Over here, the only difference here is the temple looks more ruined. These things fell off, but the temple looks a lot more ruined. As you can see, there's a lot of stuff falling. They're all like kind of messed up. So it looks more like ruins now, like it's supposed to be. And back there, the waterfall, instead of putting it back there, it's back here. So I think it looks much better back there because this is more of the jungle area and that's more of the tribal village area. So I think it looks better over here, behind the temple. Of course, this wall got put up. I'm in the voodoo swamp right now. There's this saloon sign I made. As you can see, this area is like really wide opened right now. Well, you can't really see too well, but it's really wide right now. But it will get shorter. We brought these things over. Our neighbor gave us a ton of old stuff that she had in her backyard. So we bought some shutters over and stuff for the western area for Deadwood. And I'll show you some other things that we brought over in a minute. There's the witch hut. If you guys were wondering where that was, it's right here. There's the window part. There's the door part. That'll probably go up tomorrow. I'm not sure though. My grandma brought over this cactus for Deadwood, but really it's like falling over, and it's a pretty ghetto cactus, but it's better than nothing. The end has nothing done with it yet, but I'm hoping that shouldn't take too long. The end shouldn't. I was going to make a whole bunch of buildings for it, but since I already have the scene setter, I guess that'll do. Here's Deadwood, which has finally gotten stuff done in it. Let's put that back. Okay, so Deadwood. There's that little rodent type skull there. This is the Shaky Razor Barbershop, and I know it's really small and it looks really bad. The buildings don't look very good in here yet, But when the props are added in, and not all the buildings are here yet, this saloon I'm hoping to look really good because it's even going to have balcony. But these ones are more of like the small ones that I didn't really care to make look too great. So here's the Shaky Razor Barbershop. Bad haircut is nothing you lose your head over. Of course, the sign right there. This is Rottingham's Dead and Breakfast. If it smells like bacon, you better start shaking. This one's actually really tall, and it's got a little porch too. Can't really see the door, but this one had to be held on with string. The string's going to be painted the same color, but as you can see, that's the structure of... I'll show you the structure of both of them. Hold on. I'll go around the back. I'll show you how they're held up. So this is the back of them. As you can see, it's flat. It's pretty much the same way that the witch hut was made last year, but they're not as complex. But here's how they're held on. It's pretty much tied, and then they've got like this pole, these poles in the back to hold them up. As you can see, this one doesn't have as complex of a structure. This one's just tied in. There's a nail up there, and then there's a string around the nail, which is then tied to the tree. This one has a pretty complex back to it though, because it's huge. So Shaky Razor Barbershop is the smallest one, definitely, but I didn't really have too big of expectations for these small little buildings, like Shaky Razor and all the ones I bought the signs for. What I really want to be good is the saloon, so that should be good, and it's gonna have a lot of space. It's gonna be over here. I'm thinking of putting the mine shaft over here. But this is Rottingham's Dead and Breakfast. I personally actually like Shaky Razor better because it looks more like the door and stuff. It all looks more realistic. It looks, even though it's very short, as you can see, the camera's like at my nose right now, and there's a door. If it were the top of my head, there you go. It's very small, but guests aren't going to go over there. They're going to stay a little bit further back here, and I'm going to try not to put any life-size props over by it so it doesn't ruin the effect. But so it looks much bigger when you're way back here. It looks much bigger. This is big no matter what. This one's huge. I know it's much bigger than the witch hut last year. Actually, maybe it's the same size. I don't know, but it's really big. I would say it's about, well, this one's about 5 feet. So I'd say this one's probably about 8 or 9 feet tall, just like the Mummy's Tomb and the Pharaoh's Revenge was last year. It's not quite as big as the Mummy's Tomb and the Pharaoh's Revenge, but it's still got a pretty big height to it. So that's what I like about it, is how big it is. It may not look too great because it doesn't really make sense how skinny it is. I suppose since you're looking at it, that's the point. You're looking at it from straight on. You're not supposed to see the back area. So I'm probably going to have something else right here so you can't see that there's nothing back there. You're not supposed to see, it's supposed to be like you're looking at it straight on, and the back area is not visible where the actual building is. So, but it's hard to make buildings that look too great. Big buildings like that. I'll show you some other stuff, because I know I've got some other stuff done. And I'll show you some of our other stuff the neighbor gave us. Okay, go over here. Now this lion that I got at the beginning of the year, if you guys remember that, I got it way early this year. I've got it in Carnivorous Garden, which I think it looks really cool in. It's like kind of exiting Carnivorous Garden. It's there. I'm probably going to put some vines crawling up it to make it look better, but it's right there. What else in Carnivorous Garden? Oh yeah, that birdhouse that the neighbor gave us. Very cool. Carnivorous Garden is still not blocked off from Scary Christmas, but it will be soon. Now, snow. I'm going to go in here. Yeah, Diane doesn't have anything done with it, really. Here is Hex Family Cemetery so far. It's got the scene setters on the back. This wall was put up today. It's got those scene setters on the back. Very cool. except no scene setters there. And then the tombstones I made for Janice, Steven, and Jack. Well, I didn't make the tombstones, I just painted over them, what was already there. So those are there, and it actually looks really cool so far. And when I get the props in here, it'll look much better. Because of course the haunt, it may look cool without the props as well, but like it doesn't really start shaping up until the props get into the haunt, because that's the main focus of the haunt, the props. So I like how it's also right next to a fence, so it's more like... The neighbor also gave us this. It's this animal cage. It was a rabbit cage, she said. And all of her stuff was like sitting in her backyard for years, that it got vines all over it and stuff. So it looks all old and rusted. Now this, I'm probably going to put in the laboratory and put some rabid animal in it. Maybe some toxin dripping out of its mouth or something, I don't know. I'm probably going to put this in the laboratory, this animal cage, and put some kind of rabid animal in it. So that's cool. Anything else? I think that's it. I think. It's still a lot done though, much more than any other day, mainly because the walls were the biggest progress done. The new walls. Well, my dad did those. My mom, I think she did this. Yeah, she did the scene setters. And then me and my grandma did the more prop type stuff. So we had 4 people working on it today. So that's how we got so much done. Tomorrow I'm hoping to finish the buildings of Deadwood. I'm probably going to do the saloon and the hopefully the mine shaft will be done. I'm having my mom do that because her full-time job used to be an artist, so she should do that pretty well. So I'm going to have her do the mine shaft. She's going to paint it and make it look like a real mine shaft. And then I'm going to do the saloon and the cadaver tavern. Dismembers only. I'm going to do those, and they're probably going to go over here. So I'm going to try to do those tomorrow. Also going to try to get the witch hut up tomorrow, because the witch hut is right here. The saloon sign is already right there. The witch hut I'm hoping to get up tomorrow. I'm hoping to build the volcano for Island of the Headhunters tomorrow. I'm hoping to make a lot of the structures tomorrow. I'm not sure if that'll get done though. But something I really want to get done tomorrow is more walls, so all the walls can be up. Hopefully by tomorrow, all the walls, except for these inside ones, will be up. These inside ones will probably go up on Saturday. Sunday is pretty much the doorways. So tomorrow, I'm going to try to get all the structures done. And a few more walls. Oh, well, all the outside walls. Saturday, I want to get the inside walls put in. And then Sunday, it's the doorways, the entries to each scene, and the lighting.